Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast.
Interim heavyweight championship fight. Now, Ty, do you know how this is going to work? I mean, they're fighting for the interim title fight, but Stipe and John Jones are still going to fight whenever John becomes healthy again. So I don't know exactly what this belt is for. I mean, I guess it's kind of they're going to get paid more, and it's just something to slap a title around and just kind of be like, hey, this is a thing. But I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense to me, given the fact that we know what's next for the real champion anyway. And like you said, I think you said it earlier on this episode, or even the other day. Like, it's just another division that John is kind of just holding up with, like, just, not even on purpose. I can't blame him for this one. He was ready to go. He was training for this fight, and his pec just blew, and all those steroids have finally started to erode his body. But we got Sergei Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall. If you really were going to make a replacement fight, I don't think they could have made a better one than this one. This is maybe to any of the casuals out there, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that just people who don't watch it as much as we fucking do. And I don't blame you, because it's like last week. It's a drag. It really sometimes it's really rough. But Pavlovich and Aspinall are probably the two most highly touted prospects in the heavyweight division, other than our boy Jalton Almeida, who just fought this past weekend, and we discussed his stock is down. And last week's the other day's episode, stock is down, because stock is down all over the place at the UFC Sao Paulo episode. So, what are the lines, Ty? We kind of talked about it. Really just right down the middle. We have a minus 108, 105 for Sergei Pavlovich to Tom Aspinall's minus 112, 115, and it varies a little bit across these different websites, but it's basically around that given line. Tom Aspinall is a slight razor-thin favorite here. The bookmakers do not feel good about this one as well, and I do not blame them. You really just don't have enough. And similar, I also did want to mention about the Alex Pereira fight, which I forgot to mention. I do think it's going to be a big factor that Glover fought Yuri, and he's going to have that, like, at least that knowledge, and it's not going to be the exact same thing, but if anybody can give you the inside information that you need, it's going to be your coach, who just fought this guy the last time he was out there. So,
absolutely,
I did want to point that out. But what do you think about this fight? I know we kind of talked about this off air. You have a certain lean, and is against one of the patron saints of this great podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Aspinall here. I think he's smart. I think he's quick and strong. And I think that kind of combination will keep him on the outside. And I think he's going to be able to come in and jab and then get out, or throw a 1-2 and then get out, or just stay. I would advise against staying in there and getting in a firefight with Sergei Pavlovich. I think the thing that people do, and I went back and watched all his fights, and they're both 6-1 in the UFC. I think Pavlovich started in 2018, fought goddamn Uberim, not even Overeem, Uberim. So that didn't go well for him. He did okay. And then he fought a couple guys, dusted him off, and then he took a long time off. So we didn't see him between 2019, the end of basically 2020, and all 2020, all 2021. And then he comes back against Shamil, smokes him, and obviously we saw what he did to Lewis and Tuivasa. And then when he did the Blades was impressive. But I will say, in that Blades fight, he was getting hit. Now, it didn't matter. And Shamil, the Shamil fight, it didn't matter also, and he was getting hit. But I will say, he doesn't really care. He kind of is like, all right, you can hit me, but I'm coming after you. He's just a powerful pressure hammer is really what he is. Like, really hard to describe him as anything else. I also forgot he was supposed to fight Cyril Gane after that Maurice Green fight. That would have been something. He'd probably been a big underdog. So
yeah, it'd been wild.
Tied for John Jones' longest reach. Like I said, he can be hit often, and he's very heavy on his lead leg. I think that makes him open to leg kicks for a dangerous kicker, and that's exactly what Tom Aspinall is. He's powerful in a lot of ways, but he still kind of plods forward, right? It's just kind of his body type and how he fights. He's kind of a plotter, but he's not like a Shamil Abdurakhimov where he's not dangerous. He's He's scary, man. That right uppercut comes in like a piston, very quick. He's got super quick hands. Doesn't really throw kicks. His wrestling is going to be his downfall, and that's why I am going to go with Tom Aspinall inside the distance. I think he's going to get him out here. I want to take a sub, but I feel like he can. I feel like he can knock him out on the feet. Not what I would do. I think Tom is very smart. I think he knows where his bread is buttered, and I think he's going to try to take him to the ground. Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, with heavyweights, I think he's so confident in his boxing because obviously he has that boxing background. I think he's just better everywhere, but he really has to watch leaning his head out and back when he's in a striking exchange. I saw him do that a couple times, most notably against, I think it was against Spivak. So it didn't matter at all. But still, just something to notice because if he does that against this guy, he's giving up a couple inches of reach, 6 inches of reach. That's a lot, man. Like, if you're just slowly walking backwards and Pavlovich is fucking hammering towards you like a juggernaut, he's going to hit you with one of those huge right hooks or uppercuts. Like, it's going to happen, And if you're just leaning your head back, I imagine your mouthpiece might fly into the 15th row. So he definitely has to watch that. But black belt in jiu-jitsu, that should be the major, like DJ Khaled said, major key alert. He should absolutely take him down here. And honestly, if he gets him to the ground, it's over. Absolutely over. There's no way Sergei can get up from this. I think Tom's going to want to make it a little slow in the beginning, right? Just keep on the outside, throw some kicks, throw some jabs, maybe just clinch up, wear him down a little bit, try to wear on his gas tank. I mean, Sergei's gone 5 rounds, but not in the UFC. So I don't know how much cardio he truly has, right?
Yeah.
He seems like somebody that would cardio dump anyway. So I think that's probably – I think Tom needs to drown this guy in deep waters, and I think he should. Maybe deep waters is just the first round. Maybe it's not the second, third, or fourth or anything like that. But I think he's going to get him to the ground. I think he has, 4 subs. I know he knocks a lot of guys out, but again, that's that boxing background he has. If you remember the Jay Collier debut he made, he smoked him with a nasty 1-2. Again, I know it's Jay Collier. I get it, but that guy was once a light heavyweight. So Tom Aspinall just moves around like a welterweight, honestly. So I'm going to trust him. I think he has a ton of upside. I think he's smart. I think he's physically imposing. I don't think he's, aesthetically doesn't seem as strong or powerful as Sergei Pavlovich, but I think he is. Honestly, I think he has quick hands too, and a bunch of different kind of kicks, some kicks up the middle. Hopefully he throws more. I've noticed in Tom's fights he hasn't thrown that many kicks, but a couple here, and that's huge distance control against a guy with an 84-inch reach and just a fucking nuke of a right hand. So I'm not going to say Sergei is right hand or bust, but kind of feel like he is. He gets Tom Aspinall hurt, it's probably curtains, but I got Tom Aspinall inside the distance. I think he's going to do it in 1 or 2 rounds.
Wow. So you get Tom Aspinall inside the distance at -105, according to DraftKings at this time. So who knows where that line will move. I would probably jump on that ASAP. I am going to go Sergei Pavlovich TKO, and I am going to count on the fact that Pavlovich fought a guy like Curtis Blades, and Curtis was not able to necessarily get him to the ground and did not feel comfortable. I think the size of Pavlovich, it kind of alarms people when they fight him. So I think it's just going to be I think you're right. Like if he does get him to the ground, that's probably over. And I just think he's going to have his way with him. But that's a 6-inch reach advantage. And I do think though, to kind of help your case out, it's the movement of Aspinall is going to be huge. I think he is very explosive, and his lateral left to right, even getting in and out of the pocket is it's huge. So I think he's going to attack those leg kicks early on, and then eventually it's going to draw Pavlovich to kind of do some stuff that he's not comfortable with, maybe moving forward and maybe overextend himself and wind up going to the ground. I think the longer this fight goes, the better it is for Aspinall. But I think Pavlovich is gonna catch him, and I think it's gonna be bad. And I can't. I think I faded him before, and I vowed that I would never fade him again until he lost. So
I think we both said that, but unfortunately,
maybe the Curtis Blades night I think was the night we actually faded him. So I just gotta believe he gets it done here, and But this is like, I don't think if you, like you said, like you just to pick Aspinall, I don't think you're wrong. This is a fight where I don't think you can really go wrong here because I truly don't know what's going to happen. It can kind of go either way. So